I wish somebody would have told me these 5 things when I was just starting out. Because, man, I tell you what, I would be a lot further than I am right now in my journey. If I can go back in time and talk to little Tony and be like, yo, dude, I know you're trying to grow this video business and you're doing it wrong. Like, these are the 5 things that I wish that someone just would have came up and been like, stop, you're doing it wrong. What are you doing? So to ensure you're not making the same mistakes that I made, here's a video to help you out. Welcome back, and if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. My name is Tony. I am the owner and operator of Why Not Tony Media. We specialize in video podcasts, course creation, and also the good old-fashioned brand marketing videos for companies. Now, this YouTube channel is designed for creative business owners as well as any other business owner who's really just trying to achieve their goals through video. As always, if you enjoy the content you see on this channel, please subscribe because it will allow us to bring you even more content. Now let's dive on in. All right, diving on in. Oh my God, let's get back. All right, so what are these 5 tips? Okay, so the first one is specializing. Now, specializing, what exactly do we mean by that? You might be thinking it could be niching down, which yes, it is somewhat to the extent of it, but I like the idea of thinking it as specializing because it's a bit more attractive for clients. Because I want you to think about it this way. Let's say you have a car. You really love this car, and I don't know why I'm always using car analogy. Anyway, so you really love this car, but something ends up happening. Who are you going to take it to? A mechanic who you know their job is to fix vehicles. It's literally in the name. It's what they do, right? Like, that is their specialty. Or would you go to, I don't know, like one of your neighbors who, yeah, he says he knows a thing or two about cars. Every once in a while, he also does like some fence work and like does some stuff on roofs and builds some like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's all over the place. He does a little bit of everything. Or would you rather take your car that you put your hard-earned money on into a shop where you know it's going to get done the right way? That's the way I want you to view specializing. And then when you specialize, it's not to say that you're only going to be doing that type of work, but what it really does is helps you become a master at that specific category that you really enjoy, but it also makes you easily referable. Because when the time comes, let's say you did a great job with one client and that client is talking about you to other people, and then they bring up a conversation about you because they're saying, hey, we love the quality of the work that you got. Who did you work with? Oh, we worked with John because he specializes in branded content and that's what he does. When your clients can even specifically say what your specialty is and market for you without you having to be there, that just is going to help your name, your brand be even more well known because you're specializing. Now, I've had someone in the past tell me, well, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to niche down because then that's the only work I'm going to get. Not necessarily, because one of the interesting things that I found once me and my business started doing this, which you heard from just about every intro, is that we do video podcast, course creation, and branded content. We do all of that for businesses, or those are our 3 specialties. But have we occasionally done some photography work? Have we occasionally done some consulting work? Have we done some other type of videos like corporate training videos? Absolutely. That type of work will still come in, but I find that I'm getting more leads because I've specialized, because people have worked with me specifically on projects, and then we can kind of branch out to do other things, versus when I was just doing a little bit of everything. When I first started, I was doing weddings, I was helping local businesses make a commercial or work on their YouTube stuff. Like, I was kind of all over the place, and because of that, my branding suffered. I couldn't specifically say, oh, I do this type of one thing. Another way to describe it, and like after this I'm going to be done, is think about the times when people have come to you and say, oh, what do you do? What is your work? And you're like, oh, well, you know, I'm a videographer, I'm a cinematographer, whatever it is you want to say. And they're like, oh, okay, what type of work do you do? Like, oh, well, you know, I do weddings, I've done this. You kind of start going down a list of things that you can do, because let's face it, if you have a camera, you can probably do a lot of different types of videos and different types of content for people. But when you specialize and you say something like what we do, oh, I own a media production company, we specialize in video podcasts, course creation, and of course, branded content. That's a lot more straight to the point, and you know right off the rip exactly what I do. There's no gray area, and it also helps you just come off a bit more professional, more confident, because you know you work on a specific things, and your clients and potential clients will have more confidence in you. So tip number 1, specializing. Tip number 2 is stop worrying about making a perfect offer. If you're trying to come up with a perfect package to sell to clients, one of my mentors said this to me a while back, and I'm sure he's heard it from somewhere else and you may have heard it as well, but a good offer does not happen in your head, it happens in motion. meaning get it to a good point to where people are interested in it and then evolve it by asking questions. What this does is it removes the guesswork. You're no longer trying to guess and figure out, oh, what are clients needing right now? What are people going to be looking for right now? What's in the market moving? By not trying to make the perfect offer and just starting with a smaller package, going on from there and really having a conversation with your clients, find out what their pain points are, see what they want to achieve. That's going to help you build your ideal offer. That's going to be the offer that ends up selling more because you've made it hand in hand with your clients. You can't read anybody's mind, so there's no sense of doing all this guesswork and trying to make something perfect when all you really need to be doing is asking your clients more questions. And I've seen this a lot even in the corporate world. I've had people who have pitched us on work as well, and they've said, oh, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, but it's not what we're looking for. Hey, we have this specific task. They're like, oh yeah, we can do that, but we can also do that. I get that you can probably do that, but when I have someone who's telling me, oh yeah, we can do it this way, they come up with a game plan and they're not trying to add all these additional add-ons and add all this fluff that it's really not meeting my needs, I'm getting turned away from that, and I'm gonna much more likely work with a person who's listening to my business needs. Stop trying to make the most perfect offer that you think everybody and their mama's gonna go crazy for, and just start asking more questions. Tip number 3, do more spec work. Now, when I tell people to do more spec work, I find that you're either one of two people. You either start saying, oh, what is that? I've never done that before. Or 2, I don't have time for spec work. It's a big investment. Like, it's a waste of time. I'm not getting paid for it. I get it, and I've been on both sides of that. So spec work is basically you're creating your own commercial or your own video of something that you really want to do for other people. For example, let's say you're really into real estate and you really want to start working with more high-end clients who sell multi-million-dollar homes. That's your niche. You've landed on it and you want to land those clients. But then when you go to talk to them and they ask you to see your work, you have nothing. This is where spec work comes in handy. You're probably going to come out of pocket on some of these, especially with this specific example for luxury real estate. You can definitely go on a website like PureSpace, find a very good looking home, rent it out for an hour to grab some content and make a few videos about that specific location. I would definitely talk to the person who owns this place as well, letting them know that hey, you're doing this type of commercial to show off to another client what a potential video might look like. Be transparent. They don't want to see their house eventually on YouTube like, what, my house is for sale, this stuff for sale. For the sake of example, again, we're sticking in real estate, but that's going to allow you to do lots. For one, it's going to allow you to test out your skills, to figure out what type of shots and be more prepared for when you actually do land those clients on how to actually shoot that work. And then 2, you're going to have a video to show people and add to your portfolio. Spec work can be an investment if you're really trying to go on that high end of the spectrum, but if you're really just trying to practice and get the work in so you can have a portfolio, you can get creative, get a couple friends, reach out on other communities that have other videographers, photographers, so let them know, hey, I'm trying to come up with this project, would anybody be willing to work with me on it and develop something together? And you'll be surprised on how many people will come together because they're looking for the exact same opportunity too. They're wanting to do some spec work, but they need a team. You always need a community to help you grow, and being a part of a community that you can do spec work together is drastically going to help you build up your portfolio and start landing those ideal clients. Number 4, timelines. The reason why you want to understand timelines early is because it's going to really help you with your project management as you get bigger. Understanding your timelines right now when you have the time to develop them and figure out what your process is for making a video, photos, whatever it is you're trying to do, that's going to translate a lot easier when you start working with multiple clients, and you can make sure jobs are getting done, your clients are happy, and you're not getting bottlenecked somewhere because you missed something because you didn't realize how much work was going to go into a certain type of project. Most likely you are in the beginning stages right now, perfectly fine. What I want you to do is pick a video and start developing a timeline. Start off with picking a due date. Whether that's a date that you say, hey, this video is going to go live on YouTube in 4 weeks. Work that backwards to know when your deadlines are. Now, depending on how fast you work, that may vary, right? You may need 3 weeks to complete a video. You might need a week to complete a video. But either way, work backwards from there. Figure out, okay, if I want a video done by this date, that means I need to have a rough cut done by this date. And if I need a rough cut done by that date, well, that means I need to have editing done by this date. And if I need to have editing done by this date, that means I should probably have everything filmed and ready by this date. And if I need to have everything filmed and ready by this date, then I should have everything planned out and scheduled by this date. That's your timeline. Having at least that basic of a timeline is really going to help you out as you grow. And I say that's basic, and I realize there's a lot of steps in there, but trust me, those timelines start to get really complex as soon as you start working with larger clients. because then a lot more hands are in the pot. There's different people that need revisions. Now there's a script we got to review. There's a complete pre-production process that needs to be handled. And day of shooting, there may be other moving parts that are happening around. And then of course, editing. There's all these different things that just get bigger and bigger as you grow. And because when you're working with bigger clients, there comes like a certain amount of, I don't know what's the word, like grandiosity. Like there's just a lot more going into it than just you making a single YouTube video. But understanding your basic timeline for what a project can look like from beginning to end and being able to effectively communicate that to a potential client is drastically going to change the way they view you and want to work with you. And the last thing, number 5, it's raise your prices. You have to start charging what you're worth. And at the beginning, yeah, that might be low. That's perfectly fine because we all have to start. The first video I ever made, I believe I got paid, I think $200 for it. Shot it on my iPhone. Crazy, right? But that's where I was. I ended up making, I think, a 2-minute like Instagram style, like real fast paced thing for a gym. I don't remember. It's so long ago, but I remember it was $200 because I remember thinking that day, holy I just got paid $200 to make a. But I obviously couldn't be getting paid $200 every project. Since then, I've had to raise my process because the complexity of work has grown. I've gotten new gear and that money should go to either paying off that gear if I financed it and also going back into the company, allowing me to pay for other things like softwares, new computers, like other things that are just going to help you grow the business. And eventually you're going to get to the point where you need to just stop being a one-man band and start treating your business like a business owner. That was something I really struggled with at first because especially as a creative, you have that constant worry like, is someone else gonna really be into this project as I was? Are they gonna turn around the same quality of work that I'm used to turning around for my clients? And doing that, all that fear and like, I really don't want to let go, it's really holding you back and it's keeping you from scaling. And the longer you take to make that jump to start hiring your first person, the more it's going to hurt you. That's another reason why you want to be able to raise your prices so you can start outsourcing things for those big time consumer things, which for example, for me, my first thing I outsourced was editing because editing does take a long time. That might be for a future video too when I talk about how to start outsourcing some work and coming up with all the ways to start really using your money more wisely when it comes to scaling your business, because that's what you need to do. Start thinking like a CEO, not as an individual contributor. All right, that was a lot of information. If you have any specific questions on those 5 things, because those 5 things will drastically improve the way you're managing your business and help you get those leads and help you get your business where your business is wanting to go, by all means, leave a question in the comments down below. We would be happy to answer it and give you some guidance. And as we said before, if you found value in this video, please subscribe because it's going to allow us to bring you more content just like this. We have a lot more content in the works and I can't wait to share it. And it's really exciting because this has been an amazing outlet for us. We love creating with our clients that we currently have, and YouTube is a way for us to really go back to our roots and have some fun with some videos and help others achieve their goals that we've achieved. And it's just a fun ride. And I really thank you for being here, guys. Can't wait to see what you're making. Can't wait to hear from you. And I will see you all in the next one. Later, guys.